Uh, I think we covered a lot.
Ja, we hebben wel veel gecoverd, man.
Yeah.
Heb je nog een beef die je wil starten?
Welcome to Hip Hop Culture. You are not doing hip hop. You are hip hop.
Hey, what's up? Welcome as a dancer. Today we're gonna meet up with Wesley, a member of the Instageram crew. He will teach us something about house dancing. So let's go and see what he got.
So my name is Wesley. I'm from Rotterdam, Holland. 27 years old. I dance the style house mainly, so that's what I've been working on the last couple of years. So yeah.
Okay, how long you been dancing?
I've been dancing for 10 years now.
Okay, can you explain in a few words what house dancing is?
It's a style that consists out of many different styles. You have like hip hop influences, you have salsa influence, jazz, a little bit of tap. It's a lot of footwork in the beginning, and later you will understand that it's a lot more than just the footwork, because you have jacking, you have lofting, you have skating, and all those things together. That's what makes it like, you know, kind of house. Yeah.
Okay, do you know a little bit the history of house, like how it started?
Well, it started in New York, and almost same time Chicago. And it was with the music, because it was disco music. The disco music like kind of dropped in that era, and out of that disco came the sound of house. So they just extended the breaks, and there were a couple of DJs at that time, Larry Levan, Frankie Knuckles, like some resident DJs in some clubs in Chicago and New York. So you had Paradise Garage, you had the Warehouse. So that's where the name house came from, and it was like I think mid '80s that it really started to come with the dancing also, because the music was before, and then people started like, alright, what's this sound? What's this sound? So they started dancing to it, and then that's how it came.
Okay, is there like differences between house music you hear in the club nowadays and the music you dance to?
So you have house in the club nowadays, but it's just a different sound, different kind of house. That's what we're used to in the underground clubs or in the battle scene or in, like, you know, the underground scene. But it's still house though. Just a different aspect, different genre of house.
Okay, cool. So you said like you started 10 years ago.
Yeah,
with dancing.
About 10 years ago.
That's like you was 17 years old.
I was 17, 18, yeah, around that time. Yeah.
Is it like a little bit late to start dancing, or how is your point of view on that?
I think not, because there was even people that started later than me, and like at that time I wasn't even thinking about, oh, I'm starting late, because dancing wasn't my first main thing to do. I was basically a martial artist first. And then my coach at that time was opening up a dance school in the same building. So he was like, take a dance class for your footwork, for your, you know, for some kind of things. And that's how I got into dancing. So it was more of an addition to my martial art first. And then after that, it was like, it became more serious and serious, because I got a little bit better every time. I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this. I like the music, the house spoke to me. I was like, okay, this is dope. So let me continue with this, yeah.
What is your main goal with dancing?
My main goal with dancing is basically to develop, inspire, build. Wherever I am, I try to be the best person I can be. Not only like dance-wise, but also like, you know, like put in effort, making connection with people, what makes them dance. And I think that's what gives me the most pleasure out of dancing, because the dancing is also like, for me, something I can do whenever and wherever, you know. So it's really like, you can let go.
If you look back on those 10 years, did you thought at that time you would come so far as you did now?
No. I wasn't thinking about that at all. It was like mostly going to the club. That was my world. Practice by myself, studio, club. So I wasn't busy with, you know, the battling and you know, those kind of things, the competition and traveling and stuff. So later I learned about certain competitions like Just the Boo. What do you got? SDK. Those kind of competitions, where I heard like people were traveling to do battles. I was like, huh, what's this? So I watched on YouTube and stuff. So it was dope. I was like inspired even more, you know. I was like, oh, they're superstars, you know. They're like, oh, they're doing their thing. They're traveling around the world. Good, dope. And me, it was just like inspiration to grow for myself. It was like after maybe 5-6 years is when I started doing battles really, and a whole new world opened up to me.
How was your first battle?
My first battle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you remember that?
Yeah, I can remember. I can't remember the place exactly. It was in Amsterdam. I remember I was nervous as hell. I was like petrified. So I did like 2 rounds and then I was out. But man, it was like, my heart was like all the way up here, you know, like thumping. And I was like, okay. After that, I was like, okay, so this is what it feels like to battle.
And house dancing, what does it mean for you?
Everything.
Everything.
Everything is movement. It's just movement. It's movement. And I love to move.
Okay, let's say for example, if a doctor tells you
Mhm.
you will never be able to dance
I'm gonna
again.
die. I'm gonna die straight up.
That's how much it means for you?
Yeah. At first, when I was younger, I was like really busy as a kid. I did a lot of sports, a lot of stuff. But at that time, you just do a lot of things. You don't realize, you're all over the place. I just love to move, flip, run, exercise, dance, martial arts, training. Training is just like every day. It's a routine of my life. So everything I do has to have a certain movement-ish thing in it. Because if I don't move for like 2 days, man, I'm like an addict. Like, gonna twitch and stuff. It's crazy.
At this point now with dancing, I mean, there's a lot of dancing everywhere you look, dance TV shows and all
Yeah.
that. So it's hard to find like a good teacher or someone with good information for people who want to learn dancing. How can they separate bad information from good information so they can grow themselves?
I think it's really hard for them to do that because they don't have the background, of course. They just see someone doing moves and they think like, okay, that's dope. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that person is a good teacher. They need to give your kid the right information. They have to be able to deal with kids, have like a certain chemistry going, have a certain bond, and know what to do, when to do. It's your kid, so you want to be sure that your kid's in safe hands. Getting the right information. So I think for the parents that don't know, it's really difficult. Even if they would ask around. I mean, there's no dancer that would say like, oh yeah, no, I'm not a good teacher. Don't come to my class. So it's still for them kind of difficult. I think that the problem lies with the people who are hiring them. They need to research because they're the owner. They need to invest in those kind of things. I mean, it's busy life owning a dance school. I think, I'm sure. But that is also something that comes with what you wanna present and what you wanna do.
If people want to take class from you, what can they expect?
Hardcore condition. I think my classes are based on a couple of things. First off, I want to give you like certain tools, certain things you can work with on your own. And I have a certain thing, and I want to make you understand that you can work those things on your own. Because sometimes you go to a class, you go to a workshop, you get a choreography. It's cool if it's choreography that you're doing. But sometimes you are in a freestyle environment and you have some things you want to learn, you want to do, you want to practice on your own, and you get a choreography. And in my opinion, you don't build off of choreography. It doesn't build your skill, it doesn't build your repertoire, it doesn't build your world. So what I want to give you is certain tools, certain things that you can use in that time with me, and then now that you're finished, you can work on it by yourself or with others, develop that. Because I don't like to give you stuff in a class and you can do it right away. I want to make you work, make you sweat, and at the end of class, you still don't understand shit. You understand a little bit, so you can work with that and do your thing. But if you come to my class and you know everything, I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied because I didn't give you anything to work on your own, by yourself.
Okay, cool, man. Well, thanks for the interview. Yeah,
Cool,
it's time for you to show us what you got.
All right, let's do
Sit
this.
down. Let's go. You will show us what house dancing is. Alright, this was another episode of That Dancer TV. If you like this episode and you learned something about house dancing, give this video a thumbs up. I see y'all every Monday at That Dancer TV, so stay tuned for the next episode.